with West Bengal heading into one of its most closely watched electoral verdicts in recent years. The central question dominating political discourse is whether Mamata Banerjee will manage to retain power once again, or whether the Bharatiya Janata Party can finally convert its long-standing expansion efforts into a governing breakthrough in the state. Well, the contest has effectively narrowed into a high-voltage binary between the TMC led by Mamata Banerjee and the BJP, which has aggressively positioned itself as the principal challenger. And after more than a decade and a half of TMC rule, the election is being interpreted less as a routine incumbency test and more as a referendum on whether West Bengal's political cycle is about to shift. And exit poll projections have only deepened the ambiguity rather than resolving it, as multiple surveys suggest sharply different outcomes, and a section of pollsters, including Metrise, PMark and Poll Diary, indicate a BJP edge, with projected seat ranges in some cases crossing the majority threshold in the 294-seat assembly. And all these projections generally place the BJP somewhere between 140 and 175 seats, with the TMC trailing but still competitive in the 110 to 140 range. Well, on paper, this suggests a possible anti-incumbency wave strong enough to challenge Mamata Banerjee's long dominance. However, an equally significant set of exit polls present a contrasting narrative. Surveys like People's Pulse and Janmath project a clear TMC victory, with seat estimates ranging from the mid-170s to high 180s, which would comfortably secure another term for the incumbent government. Well, this divergence across pollsters reflects not just statistical uncertainty but also the complexity of West Bengal's political geography, where urban-rural divides, caste and community alignments, and local leadership structures produce highly uneven voting patterns. And beyond formal polling, informal indicators have also entered the conversation, though their reliability remains questionable. Betting markets, including platforms like Polymarket, have reportedly shown a marginal tilt towards a BJP victory, but the edge is narrow enough to still fall within a statistical dead heat. Domestic sentiment trackers and traditional satta markets have been similarly split, reinforcing the idea that even speculative indicators are not pointing towards a clear and unified direction. And more symbolic readings, such as the widely discussed Gulal sales trend in Kolkata's wholesale markets, have added a layer of narrative drama to the contest. Reports of increased demand for saffron gulal over green have been interpreted by BJP supporters as a sign of rising confidence. However, such signals are anecdotal at best and often reflect short-term enthusiasm rather than structured voter behavior. Well, in past elections, similar informal indicators have frequently diverged from actual results, making them more political theatre than predictive signs. And on the ground, both the major contenders are projecting confidence. Mamata Banerjee has firmly rejected exit poll projections suggesting a BJP advantage, calling them politically motivated attempts in order to influence perception ahead of counting. She has expressed confidence that the TMC will not only retain power but could secure a comfortable majority once the final votes are tallied. She has expressed confidence that the TMC will not only retain power but could secure a comfortable majority once the final votes are tallied. And her argument rests on the strength of her governance narrative, welfare schemes, and deep organizational reach across the rural Bengal. Well, the BJP, on the other hand, is banking on what it describes as visible momentum built through aggressive campaigning and organizational consolidation. Its leaders argue that voter fatigue after 15 years of TMC rule, combined with urban support shifts and targeted outreach in key regions, could translate into a historic breakthrough. Meanwhile, the Election Commission has maintained that the electoral process remains secure and transparent, rejecting allegations of systematic irregularities raised by the TMC. And this has done little to reduce political tension, with both the sides continuing to trade accusations in the run-up to countering. So will Mamata Banerjee retain West Bengal? Well, at this stage, the answer remains genuinely uncertain. As the data landscape is fragmented, exit polls are contradictory and speculative indicators are inconclusive. And what does emerge clearly is that the election is not trending towards a decisive wave in either direction, but rather towards a narrow and highly competitive outcome where small shifts in turnout and constituency level swings could ultimately determine whether West Bengal extends Mamata Banerjee's long reign or opens the door to a BJP-led government for the first time. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment and subscribe to the channel.